Though the woman did need medical attention for her bloodied face and nose, she did not need a dentist because she didn't start out with any teeth to begin with.
Good night. Tip your
So it was
waiters.
all good.
Tip your waiters, everybody.
He's here all week.
And now, Cheese Wits.
Well, what's up there, Rainbow Bright?
Who's Rainbow? Oh, look at Rainbow Bright.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I was saying something rude?
No, not at all. I didn't know who you were calling Rainbow Bright until I lifted my head.
Well, certainly not you, Kool-Aid.
No, absolutely not. Hey, no, I'm wearing Brooklyn. Cool.
Chris, is Wally blurry or is that my computer?
Is Wally
right.
what?
Is Wally blurry or is that my computer?
Oh, he's a little hazy in his room, it looks like.
Okay.
Am I?
Yeah, it looks a little bit hazy in there. Wally, are you doing dope?
Or are we?
No, I don't know dope.
Maybe I'm just a dope.
Yeah, do I look hazy? There is a little haze behind me.
You look pixelated.
I was just posting.
Now, to me,
Really?
I don't see pixelated. I don't see like a 16-bit Wally.
Really? I wonder what it is.
Let me put on my glasses real quick and look real. Oh yeah, Wally, you're fucked up, man. You look like fucking Mario Brothers and shit.
Really?
Oh yeah, you look like somebody's playing Tetris on a Game Boy that's been dropped.
All right. I don't know what the problem is.
Maybe disconnect and reconnect. Maybe you should. Oh, maybe you should disconnect from AOL and dial back in on your modem and see what happens.
Yeah, well, I got in at 1200 baud. What are you talking about?
Hey, as long as you heard the handshake, that's all we're concerned about, I guess.
And I had to use the third number because the first two numbers weren't working.
Don't you hate that? All those fucking little school kids.
Do you remember that though? They started adding phone numbers because you couldn't get it on the first one. So then if you were very desperate, you'd call the long distance number to get on.
There's more times that I rang up long distance charges at my parents' house, like Butte, just to get online.
Yeah. It was already just so ingrained. I was just posting something. Have you guys seen? I just posted. I posted on the Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
This little note. This particular one's called the Grant Authority Payment Grant Aid. There's a couple others that are called like government aid or I don't know, COVID money or something.
God, this sounds like the Jamaican calling my house saying, "Sir, do you know about the government program?"
That's exactly. It says, "Thank you for your registration." They all say the same thing. They just changed the name of it. Grant Aid Authority, $1,500. Go to this website. There's a website. Enter your banking information, and it'll take it. Where does it say? Note: the payment takes up to 3 business days to hit your account.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because right. So they that's how long it takes them to get your fucking information and drain your account.
Right.
You know how you can tell a scammer's email? The scammer's email will always have the word "kindly" in it.
Yeah.
You know it's a foreign scammer if they use the word "kindly."
I like when I get texts from Bank of America saying my account has been breached and I should reply with my username and password to secure it. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, well, first of all, I don't have an account with Bank of America, so this might be fake.
It might be.
Yeah, it might be fake.
And
the other thing you can probably tell is when it says .gov or write to us at .gov, GoDaddy, and then /GoDaddy.
Right.
Yeah. The federal government is not using GoDaddy to create their fucking page.
Yeah, they're
.gov /GoDaddy.
And if you have the word "the" in any of the corporations, somebody's, I have a coupon for you from the Bed Bath & Beyond. What?
I want to read this. I've been getting these messages from two different people, well, 2 different email addresses and names, but they have messaged me on my work email, my personal business email, and Instagram, all three. Both of these accounts have done this. Here is the context, the text of the messages that they've sent me in all of these places. Paid advertisement. Hello, we have brands that are looking for promoting their products through your social media platform, in parentheses, Facebook, not Instagram where they're messaging me, Facebook. And we will pay you $600 per ad and $1,200 for 2 ads on regular basis, not on regular basis. If you're interested or want more details, kindly respond back.
Kindly.
Yeah. Now, first of all, both of these, because they've emailed me as well as messaged me on Instagram, they both come from Gmail accounts. Neither have any business signatures or it says we have clients. Okay, who's we? Like, what business is going to randomly message you, not identify who they are, and just say, we want to give you $600 on a regular basis.
So just listening to you read that, it makes it so hard not to do the Apu voice.
God, you can't trust anybody, first of all. And number two, you can do the Apu voice. And here's why, okay? Because you fucking liberal fuck. Here's how you can do it.
No.
I
love the Apu voice.
And that's the thing. But if you look on TikTok, they've got the scammers and people have hacked into the call centers. So you have this woman sitting there and you can clearly see her. And she's sitting in a sweatshop of other folks around her in Bangladesh. And she's saying, hello, I am Mary Smith from the Microsoft. And okay. And the guy's looking at her and says, no, your name's Priyada. No, I am Mary Smith. No, your name's Priyada. And Sunjab is sitting to your left. Oh my God, how do you know? I'm a ghost. Yeah.
I've seen those. There's a couple of guys. I've seen a couple of guys who do those. They're somehow able to hi Henry. They're able to reverse the camera and hack into these people's cameras and take videos of them doing their I am from the Microsoft. I would like to help you get your Steam back online. Please just give me your credit card number now.
If the gift card transaction goes bad, you ever heard one of those guys go crazy going, no, fuck you. Yo, fuck you. Your mother, fuck you. I mean,
I've had that. I've had the call where they've told me to go fuck myself.
Oh my!
There was another one for a while. There was also the one where they wanted to put a logo on the side of your vehicle.
Oh yeah. My friend actually
and they would come to your
one.
house.
Yeah.
They would come to your house, and they would pay you X amount of money. They would send you a check or something, and then you would have to give the guy when they got there $300 of the $600 or whatever they were paying you. Of course, the check was going to bounce in 3 days. He'd be there in 2 days.
Yeah.
And you'd be giving him $300 of your own money.
Oh, yeah.
They're so fucking clever, these motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. They're really clever because they're going to get a private citizen to drive around with a fucking Pringles logo in their car.
Listen, that's actually a real thing that you can do. Not that way.
Yeah, it is.
But that's a real thing that you can do.
Put a Pringles logo on their car.
And people will do it.
Oh, absolutely. Look at somebody came along and said, hey, you're going to get a nice hum job from, Candy's House of Sex. You want to put this logo on your car. God damn right I will. Okay, just fine.
You're cheap.
Well, they ought to be contacting these folks with the car wraps ought to be contacting people who do like Uber and any of those DoorDash and any of those, because some fuckers are driving all over the fucking city.
Mm-hmm.
The exposure would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely
huge.
But nobody thinks right.
Big happening. I was delivering a package on Friday, and I was delivering it to a relatively horrible part of town, of the city, and I come out of the package delivery, and there are two women in the middle of the street fucking brawling.
What?
Just brawling at 2 PM. Just fucking hair pulling, throwing, kicking, trying to knock people. It's fucking crazy. They get close to my car, so close. One woman punches the other one square in the face. Blood goes flying everywhere, busts her face up in her nose. She falls into my car.
What?
And the only thing I can say is, get the fuck off my car. Beat her up somewhere else. And all the while I've got my hand on my pepper spray saying, I'm gonna fucking have to spray somebody to get out of this motherfucker. Nowhere police. The good news is, and there is a joke here that I made up. The good news is that though the woman did need medical attention for her bloodied face and nose, she did not need a dentist because she didn't start out with any teeth to begin with.
Good night. Tip your waiters.
All good.
Tip your waiters, everybody.
He's here all week.
Neither woman had any teeth. Be here all week. Be kind. Tip your waiters.
Oh.
Jess, I know I think I talked. Did I talk to you this week, Jess? Yes, I did. I told you I went and saw the Barbie movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I thought you said you had something to say about. I went and saw the Barbie movie.
I have no idea. I don't.
Chris, have you gone to see the Barbie movie?
I would rather not talk to you about that because I will never see that movie. And number two, see number one.
I got to tell you, I went because I have a 9-year-old granddaughter who wanted to see the Barbie movie.
Sure, that's why you went. Okay.
Kind of funny.
That's why you went.
No, it's kind of funny.
I have heard that. I know a couple of people who've gone to see it without 9-year-old girls, and they enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, the theater was full of not girls, women 40 plus in pink regalia and men under the age of 40 in pink regalia.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying life.
Good for them.
Enjoying the Barbie experience. Just loving it.
That's fine.
I must say it is a bit disarming to see women over 40 dressed like Barbie dolls. There's just something really weird about it.
Well,
it's
you
sort of
lived
like,
through the experience, so
come on.
That's positive.
And that other movie that's out, the other hot one is Oppenheimer. Okay.
I kind of want to see that one.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I want
too.
to see that one or not. I kind of do, I guess. But there was somebody that did a TikTok and they're in the movie and it's a really crucial point in Oppenheimer where they push the button. And as soon as they push the button, there's just silence in the theater. And this fucker rips a 3-second fart. Okay. And the movie theater just erupts in laughter during the scene where they're nuking people. It was an amazing sight.
Timing.
Wow.
Hey, listen, timing is everything, man.
Timing is 100%.
Timing is everything.
And let's talk about timing for a second. I got a couple of radio things to discuss. Okay.
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 I don't know whether you saw in the trades that one of my friends got fired from his position last night after he made, quote, disparaging comments about a female member of the sports media in DC.
No.
Okay.
Is this a friend I know?
This guy, Don Geronimo.
I know of Don. I don't know Don.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like Don Geronimo.
Yeah,
Don and Mike?
Yeah, exactly.
They were
And
fucking
I love Don. I will always be his biggest fan. Him and his co-host were out at Redskins Park or whatever the hell they call it this week, Commanders Park or whatever. Or maybe they just call it Ashburn. I don't know.
Football team
but
park?
They're out there. Football team park, yes. And this nice lady from Channel 9 walks by and they go, oh, look, there's Barbie girl. Hey, Barbie. And they said something else about calling her Barbie. And that was the team, because of their awful culture under Dan Snyder and all the sexual harassment shit, decided to make an example of this guy. Okay.
What did he say?
He kept calling her.
What he
kept
said?
calling
For
her Barbie.
calling her Barbie?
Yeah. Now,
what's her real name?
I don't remember what her something Shaylin or something like that. So there was an Instagram post. Now keep in mind, they fired this guy. He's gone. Okay, legend in the business, gone. This girl, she was
absolute legend.
Charla McBride. Okay. And she had an Instagram post from January of 2020 that has since been deleted in the last 8 hours, where she's holding a Barbie doll sitting next to her co-host saying Barbie and Ken are here to work. So she can call herself Barbie, but nobody else can.
I don't
Well,
understand.
He probably knew her. If
I don't understand.
Yeah,
like, I don't understand how they had a case against him, and I don't understand how his company was like calling a woman Barbie girl is disparaging. I don't understand any of it. I don't understand any part of this.
Neither do I.
Is she does she look Barbie-ish? Is she a blonde?
She's blonde, and her Instagram is full of her posting pictures of her being blonde. And that's it. I mean, it's her and her boyfriend, I assume, her husband, that looks like a Ken doll. I mean, tell me all your other problems in the world except for being fucking young and good looking.
So unfortunately for him, he comes from regular radio. Where
Don comes from regular radio.
He was fucking awesome. He had a partner, Mike, and Don and Mike were fucking DC just greats. And he was legends. Fucking funny, that guy. Mm-hmm. And obviously he's being topical because his radio roots say be topical. What's fucking bigger than Barbie right now?
Absolutely nothing.
And so he's maybe playing the joke a little further.
Did he know her though? Like, I guess
no, he didn't know her.
I don't understand why he would be yelling stuff to her, but also I don't understand why what he yelled is a problem. Like, I'm confused about all of it.
His co-host said, I think she's from TV. I think we know her. Says, yeah, she kind of looks familiar. And that's where it all ended. And that's where it ended on the air. And, I guess because of that corporate culture over at, the team that I'll always call the Redskins, I think that's why they had to make an example or something.
Because the Redskins, who fought so hard to keep that fucking name, isn't at all terrible. Let's see, Barbie, Redskins. Which one's more offensive? Calling a woman who calls herself Barbie, or calling a football team Redskins?
You know it, and I know it.
More offensive in this day and age. By the way, I've made a mistake with my tea. And I'm going to share it with you. You may have seen me take a big gulp of my tea. I have inadvertently put Mike's hot honey in my tea and not regular honey. And I just nearly choked. It's so fucking hot. I wanted to just, while we're at the Barbie thing, just real quick, I wanted to share this. So while in the Barbie movie, they show all kinds of Barbies. I didn't know some of these Barbies. They have discontinued Barbies in the movie, people playing the part of some discontinued. There were three Barbies I didn't know anything about. One was, I think it was called Growing Skipper. Growing Skipper, if you squeezed her breasts grew. I had no idea such a Barbie existed.
Me either. I remember Skipper, but not Growing Skipper.
And
that doesn't happen in real life? Are you kidding?
There's also
all those lawsuits for nothing, Chris.
Well, it was funny because they showed the Barbies and they showed human. They showed her breast grow. That one was discontinued, and they showed there was a pregnant Barbie, which I didn't know about, which was a Barbie that walked around. I think you could take the baby out of the belly. There was a pooping dog Barbie, and there's also another friend to Ken Barbie, and I forget his name. So on the way home, my 9-year-old granddaughter is talking, there's lots of different Barbies they could have that they don't have. And, we're naming a couple, my daughter, and all of a sudden my granddaughter goes, yeah, look, how come they don't have homeless Barbie? Like on a shopping cart. And then we went off and they can have the homeless Barbie with a shopping cart and a cardboard sign and, will work for anything. Just, I was so proud of her 9-year-old humor right then. Mm-hmm. Like, God damn it, that's a great sense of humor. Do not lose that. There is hope that the up and coming young folks might be able to bring back some humor that right now is castigated or thrown out. Are you rolling your eyes? Jess.
Let me try that castigated humor on Jess and see how far it goes.
Oh, she already rolls her eyes.
No, let me just give it another roll here. Jess.
Yeah.
So that skipper thing, when you squeeze it and its boobs grow, I'm gonna come over later and turn that rainbow into a spectrum and hug you. How about that? Does it not work that way? No.
You're so stupid.
Because I got to tell you, somebody comes and hugs me, my penis retracts.
Oh, that's because you're close to marriage.
What if the boobs grow it? No, never mind. No, you're not dragging me into this shit.
So I describe my relationship perfectly to somebody because I've told you, I love her dearly, just a little bit, not bright. And somebody's always said, so describe your relationship.
Did he just describe his fiance as not bright, Wally? Did I hear that right?
He said a little bit not bright. Okay. He didn't go all the way.
Okay.
She's very book smart, but just common sense, just not there. But sometimes is there and sometimes isn't. So I said, it's kind of like fucking a 3-way light bulb with a broken rheostat.
Oh my
God. Okay. So
now we know why he doesn't do the show from his home studio.
Right?
Oh no, she'd be outside milking titties. I just left another bowling tournament up in Baltimore. And I'm actually taking the route through the city, so I'll maintain cell coverage instead of going over different bridges and shit.
I think she'd beat your ass if she heard you say she's not real bright.
No, it wouldn't be so much beating my ass. It'd be tears. Then yeah, and
Jenna,
but listen,
you don't have to put up with that.
No, she doesn't. She absolutely does not.
Oh, I thought you said Chris didn't have to put up with the tears.
No. She doesn't have to put up with me saying that. But it's like here's the thing. It's like, and I've told her before. It's like, look, I love you dearly, but just we need to improve on that mental focus sometimes. Okay.
Hey,
that's all that it is.
The Walmart. Oh, also, I know that Chris has cell phone issues.
I do.
Cell phone carrier. And I now have issues with mine, Spectrum, the fucks that Hold they on. Are.
You're using Speculum Wireless?
Yeah, Spectrum. I'm using Speculum.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I, a year ago, got a new phone, the S22 Ultra.
Ooh.
And yeah, I know, right? But I traded in an S20 Ultra. Okay. So they give you half, $600. So you owe $600. It's on, pay it off $40 a month or some bullshit.
Right.
We have no contracts. Fuck them. They do too. It's a ghost contract.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because here's how when they give you that trade-in value, they don't give it to you all at once. It comes off each month and it's figured out to go for 2 years, 24 months of payments. And you cannot get that money back unless you cancel the contract. And the only way, not cancel the contract, the only way you can get that money as a credit is to pay off what you owe on the phone.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I've got fucking T-Mobile and I decided to get it for my parents. Put their phones and my brother's phone on my plan. It's like 4 lines for $100. Well, now you're charging me $25 a month for each fucking phone that you said was free.
Yeah.
So it's it's all smoke and mirrors and little dicks and stuff. It's terrible.
It's the ghost contract. Fuck them. They don't have a contract. Of course they have a contract. If you're trading in something and they're telling you, it's $600, but we're only giving you $20 a month towards that for 24 months. And then it's whatever it ends up to being. I think it's actually 30, but blah, blah, blah. And you can't get a new phone until it's paid off, this one. And if you pay it off, we will give you the balance of that money, but as a credit on your bill. And you can't use it to purchase a new phone. It's such a fucking thing.
Hey, congratulations. You'll get your money at some point. Thank you for calling.
That's fucking exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Jess, how was shopping this week?
I am doing delivery this week. It's 1,000,000 degrees out and I don't have the patience.
I don't want to see that fucking guy.
I don't want to see that fucking guy. I don't have the patience. I sweat if I go outside with the dogs for 10 minutes. I'm over it.
You're all fenced in, aren't you, at your place?
Yeah, but so there was no fence before I bought the house, there was no fence, and the deck is on the second level, and there was no access to the ground from the deck. So before I moved in, I had steps added and a fence added. And I'm not really good at picturing what a thing is going to look like. So I'm like, I don't know, have the steps like go this way and then the fence can go right here. And they did exactly what I asked for. And I went to the trouble of getting an 8-foot fence instead of a 6-foot fence because my littler dog can jump a 6-foot fence and she hasn't quite made it over an 8-foot fence yet. Although I feel like she could get there with enough work. But I realized one day as I had let the dogs out and I walked through the kitchen and I glanced out the window and she was sitting on the railing of the landing. She was sitting on there and she had her front paws on the fence that's right next to the handrail. And she hasn't figured out yet that she can go all the way over, but all it would take is a dog going by. And
she'll need to put some razor wire up there.
I have a guy coming on Monday to put up some like curved chicken wire thing over the top. Yeah. So yeah, we're getting it handled. But right now, the dogs, and I don't leave them out unattended
like
anyway.
The bridge suicide stuff you're getting?
What's that?
Like the bridge suicide prevention fencing?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
Good for you.
You asked if she had fencing. I didn't see one of those invincible fence collars on her. So yeah, I'm guessing she has fencing there.
Do you have wooden fence, like 8-foot wooden fence?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's expensive shit.
Yeah.
Wow, look at you talking about a guest house. Jess has her fencing costs more than the guest house.
It's the second fucking fence I've had to buy in the last 2 years.
That's fucking an expensive gig. That fencing.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
So you haven't been getting out. So you have not seen the fantastic camp cities they're setting up at Walmarts. Around here, we have fucking the Walmart here has so many campers in it. I don't know if this is a thing that people do, that they go from and they're all out of state people. If they go camping, because Walmart allows you to park your camper in their parking lots if they have the big parking lots. And the Walmart here, there was 12 big campers that tow cars behind them, just camped out.
I would imagine that's going to be the Walmarts that are close to the interstate, though, right?
No, hell no. It's in the city. It's not close. The interstate is probably 8 miles away. Why
are they camping in a Walmart parking lot?
I don't.
Well, because it's free. It's just something there. That's
right,
why they're
it's
doing
free.
But
and a campground this time of year is going to cost you fucking $80 a night.
But a campground is in nature, and a Walmart is not.
I don't know, Jess.
In the wild.
I don't know. But think about Walmart.
There's so much I don't understand today.
Walmart's got food. They've got a bathroom, right? They've got air conditioning. They've got all of those things.
I mean, I have all of those things too in my house, so I don't need to go camping at Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart, you don't have to pay, and you can say, "Oh, we went on vacation, we went camping." and you're in there. It's just fucked up. People are fucked up.
I guess
it's some sort of thing they do.
Speaking
they love
of
it.
People who are fucked up, I have a very important question for you guys. Very, very serious, very important question. And I'll explain the question after I get your answers. Do you
loaded
wash your asses?
Define wash your ass.
Put soap on
I do.
Your hands.
Absolutely.
or a loofah or a washcloth and clean your ass.
Absolutely.
Okay. The reason that I'm asking this is because I overheard a conversation and a guy was talking about this. He said he had heard that there are guys who refuse to wash their own asses in the shower. I don't know.
Who would refuse to wash their asshole?
Because touching your own ass makes you gay or something. I don't know. But he said, but I heard this man say, and I thought, surely no. And he said, and I called up a guy I know and I said, hey man, do you wash your ass? And the guy paused and said, I mean, I'm sure it gets clean.
No.
I have a routine. I have an ass washing routine.
I need to know how delicate your sexuality is if touching your own ass could make you gay.
Well, if you got really thick fingers, maybe. I don't know.
No.
Okay, Chris, do tell.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, look, if I got to stick my Jimmy Dean in my asshole to clean it, I'm going to. I mean, it's not.
Well, here's what I did.
And last time I checked, it didn't turn me into a poofter. So, I mean, why would anybody say that?
A poofter. Well, let's share our asshole cleaning techniques. So here's my technique. I'm putting it out there. My technique is we have one of those shower heads that you can take off.
And you can, same thing.
And you can adjust it to the pulsating.
Yeah, you can.
Good. So that massaging thing.
Yeah, you can.
I start with that. Get the whatever maybe vacationing in my crack leaves, and then I take the bar of soap and soap up my ass.
Did Wally just say he had leaves in his ass?
I could have leaves in my
That's what I heard.
The hanger-oners leave the party. It's time to go. You can stay, but you can't stay here, kind of stuff. So I give it the good swish. Then I use the bar of soap, and then I use the swishy thing again, and I make sure that I clean my ass. I sometimes will use the scrubby thing too, just in case, just to make sure that nothing's sticking together.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want a stinky ass.
Well, I have one of the shower attachments too, and I pull it down and I get the water up as hot as I can, and I change the stream from shower to penetration, and
Yep.
I let it go to town for about 10-15 seconds, and
yes. Absolutely.
That's how you do it.
I feel like I need a new shower head.
Oh yeah, you got to have. I've got you got to get either the pulsating or the penetrating liquid one. Just Jess, if in the meantime you can't get one of those, you could try like a water pick.
Okay.
I mean that may cut you up a little.
Yeah, that sounds.
Have you ever? Do you use a water pick?
No.
I use a water pick. I have cut my gums before using a water pick.
I have actually been thinking about getting one because every time I go to the dentist, the hygienist is like, and how often are we flossing? And I'm like, not as often as you want me to. Every time. That's it.
The water pick is fucking fantastic because what the water pick also does is when you put it, you get the behind your teeth part, and that's where the tartar usually builds up behind your teeth. Mm-hmm. And you drink tea and I drink tea. That water pick takes all that fucking tartar right off if you use it daily. Yeah, the water and your fucking teeth, everything feels so good, and it also gets the shit under your gums. It's fantastic. Get the water pick, Jess.
Okay.
Go get it.
Okay.
Go get it. So
water pick. How about a sponsorship?
Yeah, why not? and Ivory soap that we stick in our ass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jess, you didn't tell us your routine.
Well, it wasn't about me. It was about whether men wash their asses.
Jess doesn't want to share her ass washing routine.
My ass gets washed. That's all I'm going to say.
Tell us what it is. I need to pump one off. Go ahead.
Now I can't say anything about anything anymore. Whoa.
Jess has one of those man-sized loofahs that she uses, like a corn cob loofah. That's what she has.
What?
I don't know. Hey, if you're not going to say, I got to make shit up.
Okay, you can make shit up. That's fine with me.
Let's talk about Jess's pecker now. Go ahead, Wally.
Look at the smile on my face. Guess what I'm making up now? Oh, Lord. You're making me laugh. Hey, what's for dinner tonight here? My daughter just brought it home, lobster.
Ooh, in Maine.
Brought a couple lobsters home, and she said she brought home some lobsters, some corn on the cob. I saw she had some lemons.
Can't imagine that would ever happen in Maine. Wayne. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
There is a town called Wayne in Maine. There's a town now. Hey, speaking of Wayne, Maine, there is a town in Wayne. Do you know who fucking lives here and is building a studio?
Who?
That former fuck, that fuck from Fox. What's his name?
Oh, the one that went after Maren Morris?
No, the guy who got fired. What's his fucking name?
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, Tucker. He fucking lives. He has a place about 20 minutes from here, 25 minutes from here, where he's building his fucking studio so he can do his X show or whatever he's doing.
What the fucker lives up there? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of fuckers live in Maine, though. A lot of fuckers live in Maine. A lot of them like Maine, and some good people live in Maine.
He's the one who went after Maren Morris.
Well, he went after everybody.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That fucking guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy who needs to be fucking bitch slapped.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Tucker's, first of all, and I'm not even going to tell my Tucker story, but yeah, that's all we're going to say is that fucker needs to be bitch slapped.
Well, now I feel like we need to hear the story.
No, we'll save that for another time.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll save that for.
Is this a personal story?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, about a time when me and Tucker and another gentleman
Tucker
had a dinner in DC about, what is this, 23? So 13, 14 years ago.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when Tucker was a liberal.
Yeah, but he was trying to come to the other side, which is...
He was trying to come. Well, he was trying to come. So here's the thing about that, right? On the liberal side, there's not a lot of money to be made. It's not until you get over to the fucking I'm an idiot side where people pay money to hear idiocy.
2 words for you: Air America.
You know,
Air America flopped like a big fucking.
That was a turd in a punch bowl.
Oh, that was fucking horrible, Air America. It's too bad.
Yeah.
And all 10 liberal broadcasters in the country were on that signal, and it went nowhere.
Oh yeah,
liberals won't pay for that shit. Liberals want facts and reality and real shit, and they don't usually buy into conspiracy and everybody's a cunt, and they usually don't buy into that.
I was actually thinking about something similar to this recently. Actually, in light of the whole Jason Aldean thing, because Jason is obviously trying to capitalize on the fact that he's being quote unquote canceled. Jason's not being canceled. Jason's fine. There is no threat to Jason Aldean's career, but because someone criticized him, his fans are like, "Oh no, we have to save Jason. He can't be canceled." Same thing happened with Morgan Wallen, and I was thinking about why that doesn't happen on the other side, and I realized, you know, like for example, when people were going after Maren Morris for her little thing with Jason Aldean's wife a couple of years ago over the transphobia and stuff. Yeah. People went after Maren Morris. There were people who criticized Maren for that, for the way she handled it, for what she did. And there was not she's got diehard fans like anybody else, but there was not oh no, we have to save Maren. We idolize her and someone criticized her and we have to knock down anybody who criticizes her. And this happens in politics and in TV, you know, Tucker Carlson, the media, happens in music. There's something on the far left where they're like, okay, this is what we believe and this is, you know, this is who we are, but we're not going to, I think it's actually kind of a problem for the left because it means that they lose elections so often because they're not going to rise up and fight against this criticism. No. And on the far right are these people who take the smallest criticism against something that they like and believe in and try to turn it into, oh no, that we're trying to be canceled by the left. Like it's a very different, it's very much like, I know I'm saying a lot of words and I'm not saying very much at all because I'm not organized in this thought. But to me, it's very much like people who support Trump, who sort of idolize him and there's nothing that Trump can do And so those same people, there's nothing that Trump can do wrong. Those same people think that people who voted for Biden feel the same way. And people who voted for Biden are not necessarily Biden fanatics. I think a lot of people who voted for Biden are just anti-Trump. But it's a very different frame of mind. And so you can't insult somebody who voted for Biden by saying Biden's an asshole, because that person doesn't care what you think about Biden.
Well,
but if you go to a Trump voter and say Trump's an asshole, that person's going to come and set your house on fire.
Listen. First of all, I don't think I'd say this, but are you listening to Jess's liberal bullshit here, Wally?
I didn't hear me say, Jess, go to the light.
I'm not saying either side is right or wrong. I'm saying there is a difference between the two sides.
Oh, there absolutely is. There totally is. Look, I'm Republican. I've always voted Republican until last election. Okay. And that's just the way it is. I mean, Jesus, funny. So we're bowling in this bowling tournament this morning. Okay. And my friend Mike is sitting at the score table and he's writing down the score, gets up and he bowls and he sits down and he puts the pen in his hand and does nothing. And he's just sitting there staring at the score and does nothing. And I just yell as loud as I can. It's, when the fuck did Mitch McConnell become our goddamn scorekeeper?
Wow.
That's great.
So,
That's great.
Oh my God.
So I voted for Biden, not because I was anti-Trump, because I thought he'd do a better job. And when he's an asshole, he's an asshole. He was here, by the way, Friday.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. And I was saying presidents should only be allowed to visit cities by hologram, because stop fucking up our traffic.
It does fuck up the traffic for sure. But I have not ever thought that any of these guys who I've ever voted for were demigods of any sort.
Right.
They're fucking guys. They're people. That's it. And I'm not going to defend them. I have nothing vested in them. Fuck it. Right? But these people are like, oh, Trump's been at my house for dinner. There was a guy the same day that the same day that Biden came to town. There was a guy out on the very busy road here, and in a place called Pickle Park. Pickle Park is a park in town that has been closed because it is a place where, guess what, used to go on? Anybody?
Drugs?
No, a lot of homosexual activity.
Oh no!
The townsfolk were upset about that. There was a lot of blowjobs, I guess, being given in. This was before my time. They were given blowjobs in the bathrooms and stuff like that.
So to be clear, had they been heterosexual blowjobs, everything would be fine.
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay.
So it got the nickname Pickle Park because apparently that's where, the pickle lovers went. To Pickle Park. So there's a guy parked in the Pickle Park area. You can't go up into Pickle Park. You can only go into the Pickle Park is a great, listen, it sounds so cool coming. Pickle Park. Pickle Park sounds good coming off my lips. Pickle Park. Come on, Jess.
Go ahead, Chris.
I see it. I opened the door and
I'm thinking of, Peter Piper picked a pickle pepper of pickle. And it sounds like my mother, who, doesn't know things. And years ago, the way you said it, my mom's like, well, John, they're leaving the house. Where are they going? I says, I don't know. I don't know where Christopher and his girlfriend was 30 years ago. And my mother says, well, they're probably just going to go do blowjobs or something. Yeah. They're going to do blowjobs. Sorry, I was coming off the bowling alley.
Well, that would have been fine because they were heterosexual blowjobs.
You don't know that.
Well, you said
you have no idea who I was with.
You said girlfriend. You said girlfriend.
It doesn't matter. Maybe I was getting a blowjob from somebody else and being out with my girlfriend. How about that?
Okay. You know
How's
what?
that for a twist?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Look, $20 is $20 as far as I'm concerned. All right.
All right. Wait. So listen, the end of my story is there was a guy parked in Pickle Park Saturday.
Jesus Christ.
Pickle Park, waving a big giant Trump flag, just
That's not where I thought he was going waving.
Me either.
Imagine Wally having a couple drinks and saying, "Went out to Pickle Park, and this guy started waving his huge fucking cock."
And he was standing in the back, and of course, he was standing in the back of his pickup truck, his yeehaw pickup truck, waving his big Trump sign in protest. That's the other thing.
Are there giant Biden flags? I don't believe there are.
No, there aren't. And the other thing there aren't is whenever somebody, so whenever Biden goes somewhere or somebody who's a Democrat, there's always protesters from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Oh, Trump's the best. When Trump goes somewhere, fucking almost nobody shows up to protest Trump or Republicans because we just don't fucking care.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they? Because Trump is right.
Far right.
That's correct.
We've got jobs and shit. We don't have time to go and wave a flag and tell somebody why they're fucked up and we're not.
And do blowjobs.
And do blowjobs at Pickle Park or MacArthur Pickle Park or. Man, there's got to be so many Pickle Park jokes there. Anyways, that was my story about that whole fucking thing. Is that I just he was here and people were protesting and traffic was backed up and it's just an amazing fucking group of people who find the time to get so angry about an 80-year-old guy giving a speech about jobs.
Well. They're angry here about George Strait, who is a 70-year-old guy, because he cut his show short last night because it was an outdoor show and there was a fucking thunderstorm, like lightning. There was a, what's it called? A take cover. Order. Like it wasn't just a little bit of rain. The man was on his second night in a row in July in Tennessee. He's 70 years old. Putting on a show, finished Amarillo by morning with the lightning flashing all over the place before saying, y'all stay safe and walking off the stage and decided not to cancel. And people are pissed off.
Yeah. How do you get pissed? George Strait may be the most bland human being to ever be a performer or an entertainer. I realized, wasn't he like entertainer of the year like 7 times or something? Many times. Fucking a box load of times. And he really is sort of he's just kind of a bland guy, right? He's you look at him or he does his thing and you're like, Henry, leave her alone. And he just how could he make anybody uncomfortable?
Right.
The only people who'd be uncomfortable are mannequins.
Well, they weren't uncomfortable. They were mad.
Or mad.
They were mad because he cut the show short because of fucking lightning.
Let me take you back to TikTok. Okay. There is a girl who is sitting in the pouring down rain, just fucking drenching her, wearing a white see-through top. Okay. Oh. And she says, but he didn't get through all my exes. Or whatever the hell song it was.
You saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Meanwhile, there's tens of thousands of people who have no electricity right this minute because of that storm that rolled through last night. That's how big a storm it was.
You tell her, hey, honey, why don't you go up and hold the electrified microphone?
Right.
And stand in the middle of all that electrical fucking and fucking girders. I'm sure they got the whole stage set up and it's all fucking metal holding shit up. You go up there, honey, and stand next to the lightning rod.
Yeah.
And sing.
Yeah.
You sweet bitch.
Well, and they're in the football stadium. So there's people that are up really high. You can't have people up there when there's lightning.
Oh, you're getting nailed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that the law probably says you have to fucking stop.
Yeah, there was a take cover order of some kind. I don't know what legally they're responsible for, but I do know that had someone gotten hit by lightning, people would have been suing George Strait and Nissan Stadium and
that's it. You cannot fucking make anybody happy because they only see those sorts of people only see their own fucking point of view.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sit there and go, because you're right, Jess. If someone had got struck by lightning out there, then they would have been fucking suing George Strait and the stadium and the fucking city because they didn't have an ordinance and for fucking blah, blah, blah. It's just fucking, you cannot. And so we'll talk radio just real quick. We'll probably, try to be quick, but it'll go on for a long time.
Sure will.
But this is something you learn in radio, that the fucking people who are the loudest in complaints are the fucking least important people of all.
Correct.
Because they're always the minority and they're always just fucking looking for attention. And you ignore them.
They're the same as the people who actually call the radio station.
Yes.
That's such a small percentage of the people who are actually listening. Yeah.
It's like 1/10 of 1%, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking almost the people company. That's why you always get the fucking same people winning, the same always fucking. It's Margie from Utica, and she wants to hear. And every fucking day, Margie from Utica's calling, and she wants to hear.
That's why at WFRE, we had some listeners were given, before I got there were some listeners who called in so frequently they were given nicknames, which on the one hand, I'm kind of like, okay, cool. We're, having a relationship with listeners and making it to other people who are listening, making it clear they can call in and become friends with us. And on the other hand, I'm like, it just highlights that it's the same 5 fucking people calling all the time.
But that's also the scary part right there too. That's what makes, and I know people don't look at the job of being a on-air announcer. And I hesitate. I will not call people who work on air DJs because they're fucking not
personalities.
They're on air personalities, but that's a dangerous fucking job when people start thinking they're your friend.
Yeah, which is entirely the job you're supposed to do.
Right, but it's fucking dangerous because if you cross the fucking line, you're in fucking a heap of trouble. You really are. And I know that it might sound silly, but it's absolutely fucking true. And really it's true. And it's true for both men and women.
Yeah. And it only sounds silly to somebody who's never had to think about a stalker before.
No, right. Or somebody who's going to say, if you're a married human being who's saying, oh yeah, I'm sleeping with him. Or I'm sleeping with her. And then that fucking gets back to your spouse. Like, because it's a small fucking community. It's a small world. It's really,
as we have found out at WFRE.
Yeah.
It's fucking small. Speaking of radio, is there a promotion that you never did that you really wanted to do? Like, I have one in mind. I always wanted to do Thanksgiving on the Mayflower. Which involved
Jesus Christ, really?
Which involved
How
Thanksgiving.
Old are you?
On a Mayflower truck, moving truck. I always wanted to do a sales promotion. Wants. Huh?
That's what everybody wants. They want to sit in an 18-wheeler with Thanksgiving dinner and Uncle Clem fucking lighting up his asshole in the corner. That's exactly.
Oh, I'm telling you, I wanted to do that so fucking much. It just seemed like such a great sales opportunity. And those fucking things are huge. Those are huge, those trailers. They're gigantic. They're bigger than most fucking people. Well, they're as big as the fucking people who listen to your trailer that they live in. It's much bigger than a single wide.
So you wanted to do Thanksgiving on the Mayflower. Okay.
I did. I did.
My biggest regret is programming a station in North Carolina, Q98. And not doing any promotion for a year and a half about, coupons to give away to listeners.
Yeah.
Or doing the PSAs and branding them as Q-tips. Okay.
I was thinking Q-tips is the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. It's like, hey, here's a Q-tip for you. The Blowjob Society at Fort Bragg is having their annual meeting tonight.
Well, it's such a sales tool. That's a fucking sales thing right there. Someone back when they used to sell sponsorships for fucking, the concert calendar and this and that and the other thing, back when radio did its job and you made money on fucking everything. You sold fucking everything. You sold Q-tips, you sold concert calendar, you sold fucking Make It or Break It, or fucking Friday afternoon.
Oh, they were
funnies.
selling everything 10
The rock
years ago
blocks.
at FRE. We had the
yeah.
What was it? We had the from the Damascus National Bank Weather Center. Here's your WFRE forecast brought to you by Sandy Spring Bank.
When I worked in Virginia, we did Gruen time. We did Gruen watches. They made Gruen watches in Lynchburg, Virginia, and we did Gruen time at the top of every hour. Gruen time is 104. It's somewhere in that first top of the hour, and during birthday time, someone got a Gruen watch once a month, and they sold the shit out of that.
I think we talked about.
Reminds me of.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, it just reminds me of this. There used to be these. Remember those blooper records, Wally, that used to come out? You know, a guy named Kermit Schaefer put all these things together, and some of them were real, and some of them were recreations, but all were based on fact. And one of them that was real was a guy that it wasn't Gruen, I think it was Bulova watch. Okay. And it was a new kid on the weekend, and he read, it's 104 Bulova watch time on New Year's. Say Happy New Year. On Christmas, say Merry Christmas. Just read it right off the card.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Just read it right off the. I mean, but you've had people that have done that before that have just are Ron Burgundy, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Your name here.
Well, I had an imaging guy, okay, that was doing something for us in Ocean City, Maryland, and we put on the imaging paper what the effect was going to be, as well. So this guy sends back the reel, and we're listening to it, and the first thing out of the reel, and it's somebody you know too, Jess. Sends back the reel, and he goes, 95.9, static, the coast.
That's fantastic.
Got to be kidding me.
That's great.
You know that air check that we were sharing back and forth a couple days ago?
Yep.
I heard one guy on there that I heard Pat Gillen. Do you remember Pat Gillen?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Pat, he's a All Access writer.
Yeah,
Until that thing's dying.
Before All Access, I think he was with Network 40.
Right.
And I heard Pat I think he was doing a guest shot somewhere in Syracuse, but it was fucking so great to hear. I listened, I said, fucking Pat Gillen, he's got to be 100.
So for people who are listening, Chris sent us a video that was 27 minutes of just station IDs. Like the big voice guy from radio stations all over upstate New York from the 80s and 90s. And both stations that Wally and I worked on together were on there.
Which is why I sent it.
One of the stations was on there under several different names.
Yeah. And another station I worked at, WHEN in Syracuse, was on there. Mm-hmm. I programmed that country station. That was just after they changed. That's the one I got paid. I was at that station. That's after I got fired from KISS. I went to Syracuse, and I was offered my job at KISS back at like $15,000 less than they just paid or offering me in Syracuse. I said, "Are you fucking nuts?"
Wait, they offered you your job back at KISS? Did I know that?
No, Norma offered me my job, called me a week and a half later and asked me to come back.
Was it because I was being such an asshole about that guy she replaced you with?
She didn't say anything why. She just asked me if I wanted to come back. No, what I think it was is the same reason why I got paid $8,000 at the station to stay during the sale at WHEN, because they didn't want the station to fucking fold. Mm-hmm. Or they wanted to make sure that just, not that I was keeping it afloat, but that everything stayed, normalized.
Yeah.
So you want to keep the fucking program director in place during a sale, because you don't want fucking everybody to jump ship that knows something's up. I get paid $8,000 to stay there for 3 weeks. I stayed for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And they gave me a check for $8,000. I said, "This is fantastic. Can I go to some other place that needs this kind of thing?"
Right.
Yeah. She called me to tell me, but yeah, so I worked at that station. I heard also RCK, which you and I did not work at, but that's the station that went under, Rock 107. That's the one that they changed to classic rock. And then I went to create KISS. And fucking, can I tell you that classic rock for me is the worst fucking format ever?
Really?
I
Well,
fucking, I fucking hate it.
It's not fun.
It's
Because
not fun.
there's no refreshing of it.
No.
I don't want to play a fucking rock block of fucking. You know what? 138 special song in 3 days is enough. I don't need to hear 3 in 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Oh God! When I was programming the DC Classic Hit Station, Second Chance came up every 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or Caught Up in You or something. It was.
I never understood. I worked for a classic rock station in Texas, and they were using one of those, like they brought me on, they named me PD, but they wouldn't let me control the music. So they were using one of those services where it was scheduled by this company, and then they sent you the disc and you would load the disc in. And they were programming it like a current music station. So there were songs that were rotating every 3 hours, and there were songs that were rotating every 5 or 6 hours, and they were keeping the library super tight. And I understand wanting to just play the hits, but you're talking about decades of music. There's so much music that would be appropriate, and people are not listening to hear Foreigner every 20 minutes. Like, there was no reason to do it. So I started sneaking stuff in myself and making it better.
As you should.
Fucking classic rock blows. It just blows.
Rock in general. I mean, this, I'm going to put this one out there. So the other radio thing I wanted to talk about, this conversation you and I were having earlier, Wally.
Right.
So there's a station that approached me in the Mid-South about doing a morning show on their rock station.
Hey, I'm in the Mid-South.
And it's to the east of you, I believe.
Okay.
But it's in the same state. So, hell, it doesn't matter. Cookeville. Where's Cookeville? Do you know where that is?
Cookeville is to the east of me. Yep.
Okay. So do mornings. And the lady's talking to me, nice woman. Although they were having a domestic situation at the station the day she was talking to me. So it's kind of really fucking weird. She kept saying, "Now, this ain't how we handle ourselves down here. Not at all. This ain't how it is." I'm like, "Okay, honey, it's fine. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, it is.
So
you can read.
So the morning show, they'll install the software on your laptop, and it would be wide orbit. And okay, great, terrific. And said, it's a rock station. I'm like, oh shit. We don't want boob jokes, and we don't want fart jokes. We want real topical stuff that'll relate to a soccer dad. And I'm like, well, that's the furthest thing I know is a soccer dad. Jesus Christ. I mean, I fuck their wives, but I don't, know anything about being a soccer dad. So 4 to 5 breaks an hour, 2 to 3 minutes per break. Okay. Anyone want to guess the pay for 5A to 9A?
5A to 9A?
4 long breaks an hour.
Market that size, $8,000 a year.
$500 a month.
What?
$500 a month. And
is that because they're not asking you to move there?
Well, I guess. And I'm like, $500 a month, huh?
No.
Yeah, and at some point we're gonna want you to be able to take phone calls and give away tickets to concerts.
They're gonna get a morning show worth $500 a month if that's what they're offering.
And I said to her, I'm like, well, let me think about this over the weekend. Well, if it doesn't work out with you, we're just going to go syndicate it. I cannot listen to one more air check. Okay.
Well, she's probably right about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, which is great. I mean, and I'm glad she liked my tape. That's fine. $500 a month. Listen, if it was an AC station, classic hit station, country station, you know what? It's going to take me 40 minutes a day to do. So yeah, okay. But I know zero about rock. I know absolutely nothing about the format. I don't know anything about the lifestyle. I know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm going to call her tomorrow and just, that's why I asked Wally, I said, hey, you know what? They want a morning show. What do you think? So,
it's not, what? I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah.
Even if it was a format that I was okay with. I'm okay with country, AC, and CHR. But I don't even think I'm good with CHR anymore because I think I'm too old. I think I'm out of it. So you can still do AC, you can still do country, but not hot country.
Right.
Because I'm just too old. I'm to do it not live. To do it live, I could do it, but I can't not do it not live, not air, not fucking doing pre-recorded breaks.
Right.
I just can't because I got to feel the vibe for a morning show. I just can't see a morning show done that way.
I mean, look, you're doing morning drive. You've got to have service elements. You got to have the weather. You got to have that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, how do you do that? If you're not sitting there, you can go look at the Weather Channel and, put in a break a minute before it airs, giving the current temperature and current time. But no.
Yeah, they're going to get what they're willing to pay for. And so they obviously don't care about the service elements. That's going to be a station where the only people who matter are much like most radio stations, the only people who matter are the salespeople.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
Yeah. $500 a month to probably do 6 days a week, right?
What? 5 days a week. But, how much do you want to devalue yourself? If you're doing $500 a month, what does that put what does that do to yourself? What does that do to the rest of the industry?
Yeah, exactly.
Then you get these guys. Who's that? Who's the fucking guy that's always the consultant who's always preaching about radio's still alive and well? I see him.
Berkowitz?
Yeah, is it Yeah, it's Berkowitz. He's on the small market page a lot. No, fucking, it's not good. It's not good because they're paying fucking people $500 a month to do a full-blown morning show, and it's not a full-blown morning show. That's why it sucks.
It sucks when I was even making more than that working for Norma Eilenberg in the 90s.
Wow.
Not much more, but more.
So $500 a month. So that's basically $100 a week. If you break that down, that's about $20 a day. That's about $1.50 a break.
Yep.
It's about 20 cents a minute.
Keep in mind, you've got these people, the Dave Steeles of the world, who have got great pipes and everything, and people have them on retainer for more than half of that to bark out stuff once a month.
Yep.
Right.
So, it's like I said, if it was a light AC or somebody that I knew just to help them out and help them go through a transition for a couple months. Okay, fine. But I mean, this is the clock getting one step closer to midnight on our business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. These fucking people understand that the fucking beautiful thing about radio is the people who crack the mic, because the music is available fucking everywhere.
Even more so now than ever.
You can stream it, you can FM it, you can satellite it, you can fucking download it, you can iPod it,
and that's what she told me. That's exactly what she told me. She says, people can get our music anywhere. It's the content that counts.
But we don't really want to pay for that. So could you do it for free? Thanks.
Right. Exactly.
Well, so that's the other issue, though, for radio like her, or stations like her. They're paying so much for the music through royalties and streaming costs and all of that shit. They can't afford people. Mm-hmm. The industry itself, the music industry itself, is killing itself as well. It's like a fucking snake. It started eating its tail.
And all these rights organizations and shit that have come along. Yeah, there was one of the rights organizations for the station that I own, and thank God, and getting rid of on Tuesday. For that thing, that fourth group came along, which I think, what is it, Jess? GMR?
Fourth group
for licensing.
Oh, I don't know GMR.
Global something.
I know ASCAP, BMI, CSAC.
And CSAC.
Yeah.
Right. And now there's Global, who represents a bunch of people. And, they sent this long contract, and in Sharpie, I wrote "fuck off" and put it back in their prepaid envelope.
Good. And remember when CSAC was like the laughable one, right? They're not laughable anymore.
No, they were the production library, and that was it.
That was what that and sometimes I think
Sousa March.
Sousa March and maybe Happy Birthday they had.
Right.
Which makes them a ton of money. But now CSAC has real artists.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And they're fucking vicious about collecting royalties.
Mm-hmm.
They're way more vicious than ASCAP or BMI. They're fucking vicious.
ASCAP and
Asshat.
CSAC, or ASCAP and CSAC, they're in New York. So they're a little different. BMI, I told the woman that, say, I just don't have the money in the checking account right now, but I'd love to pay you. Honey, that's okay. I'm glad we made contact. God bless those Nashville folks. She was just so happy,
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That you get the fucking New Yorkers and they're just fucking brutal. And they're I don't know why they're so brutal. And the other thing is the Nashville person, no doubt, the BMI person, she's probably 58.
Mm-hmm. I'm picturing a beehive hairdo too.
What's that?
There's a beehive hairdo with the woman from
sure.
BMI as well. But no, the guy in New York, some little kid
23.
Calling, or the older guy that I got from ASCAP when I said, listen, there's just, sorry, I can't really, pay this month, but I mean, I'll get it to you once we sell the station. Oh, well, maybe I'll go ahead and call Bruce Springsteen and tell him he's not going to get his cut from you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just give him a call.
Poor Bruce is probably going to really suffer thanks to you and your little station, Chris.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you can't tell this fucking half-wit that.
No. And those five, and it's just like the, like Cats Media and those places that, rep stations, the national advertising reps.
Uh-huh.
They're the same fucking way. They're full of 22-year-olds who got their new certificate from their Ivy League school, and now they're going into marketing. Mm-hmm. They're fucking doing nothing. They know dick about marketing, radio marketing. They know a lot about marketing that I know nothing about, like facial page marketing and that shit. But they're just let me take the top 3 stations and it's the same motherfuckers. And they know nothing about nothing. They just want to get the numbers done. They want to buy their fucking 4 points and go home and have a latte on their way.
Maybe we can hire one of them to help us get our 30-second listener.
Ooh.
Do we have 30 listeners now?
I mean, we're getting about 30 listens per episode. So, yeah.
So I spoke to somebody about and her suggestion to me was that on all of our little things, the X and the threads and the blah blah blah, the thing that you put on our page and that I share on the Facebook, the teaser every month, mm-hmm. Every week, mm-hmm. that we should also put those on all of those other ones too, just to put some content up there.
Well, it's on the TikTok.
It's on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Oh, it goes on? Oh, you put it on? Okay. Is it on the threads?
No.
Do we have a threads?
We do. Remember, wow. Chris, you and I were back and forth on the threads, and I said it was Wally's idea to get us a threads, and you said no fucking way.
If we got enough listeners and got a sponsor, we could fucking actually hire somebody to do that kind of shit.
Right.
You asked me to remember. I can't even remember the last time I rubbed one out, let alone when you and I talked about Wally creating a threads.
It was at the beginning of the episode when I was.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that I would do anything with technology.
It was totally Wally's idea. I hadn't been keeping up that week on what was happening in the social media world, and Wally was like, "Should we get threads?" And I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Can you imagine me having to jump on anything technical?
I was like, what the hell is that?
I'm glad
How
you two knew each
it?
other. Somebody would take that to HR and say, I want 600 count, and you'd lay on it and spread your legs around my head, honey. That's what I want.
Chris has Chris, you better watch out, because if those fucking people that fucking got rid of Mike, Don, hear you, there could be a problem.
Well,
I'm really bummed that he lost his. It really does bum me out that a guy loses his job. That anybody, guy or woman, I'm using guy as a catch-all phrase, that someone would lose their job in that way because the oversensitivity and the unrealistic idea that people can't be human.
Right.
And really, it does come to sometimes people say shit that has nothing to do with anything, but someone turns it into something. Mm-hmm. It's just an off the cuff thing. It's not like a Jimmy the Greek thing Jimmy the Greek was, you remember his, what did he say? Look at that little monkey run or something. Or
I thought Howard Cosell did that.
Oh, maybe it was Howard Cosell. Jimmy the Greek said something too.
Jimmy the Greek said something horrible. Yeah. I mean, but his was worse than Cosell going, look at that monkey run. And
I don't believe, and someone could say it's wrong, that I'm wrong, but I don't think he meant it in a racist way. I think he meant it like in a little, he was a small guy. I don't know if he was talking about Dave Meggett. Dave Meggett was a small guy, a really small guy. So I don't know if he meant it in a size way, and we didn't call it canceled back then either. Now people are looking to cancel people.
Well, and people are looking to be victims of cancellations, right, even when all it is criticism.
Yeah, your talk about Morgan, and I always want to call him Morgan Whalen.
Yeah, I know you've done it before.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen, and what's his face? They really know how to, just like Kid Rock. They really know how to monetize what's going on, because that group of people, the really conservative group of people, are so afraid.
They're so reactive
and very reactive that they're, we got to download more music and give him money.
Jason Aldean's going to be okay. He's going to be fine, because literally the only place his music was pulled was from CMT. And again, I know I said this last week, they play videos for 12 minutes a day.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I think the other thing people don't understand is saying, oh, he has this many streams doesn't mean money.
No, not at all.
Downloads don't mean money to him.
No, not until you get to a certain level.
Right.
He's making his money from T-shirts at concerts.
Yeah.
And concert tickets.
And concert tickets.
And by the way, Jimmy the Greek, whose real name is Calvert DeForest, said, and I quote, "Blacks were bred for sports." End quote.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that's
and he probably thought that was a compliment.
Right.
That's racist.
That's a compliment. He's the same guy who probably look at an African American guy and says, "You don't sound black on the phone."
Right.
But I'll tell you what, his restaurants are still open. He's dead. He's long since dead, but the Jimmy the Greeks are still around. I think he's dead. Is he dead?
I didn't know he had restaurants.
Yeah, I think he's long dead. I saw Jimmy the Greeks a couple of weeks ago. I think it was in New Hampshire.
And what a great name, Jimmy the Greek.
Yeah, he was supposed to be some betting guru, right?
Exactly. He was all about the sports betting before sports betting was in. It's when people were still making backroom book deals.
But that's a guy who should be canceled, and not even canceled. That's a guy who should be called upon what he did, and then should not be able to work for a national network after spewing that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be stopping. I mean, if you want to go do your private thing, go right. And that's what you can do now. Now you can be a racist on, some white extremist dark site or something. You can do that. And I mean, they're all over the place.
Can I just say something horrible?
Oh, please.
Since we're here,
you're talking about, all this racist stuff, and then you said the dark web. Come on, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Oh yeah,
that was you can't do that.
Well, if that's not a time to end the show, I don't know what.
That was very insensitive.
That is a cancelable offense. Look, and I don't have a dirty joke this week, so I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and, leave you with just the obscure celebrity, which today will be Ann Jillian.
Ann Jillian, I liked her.
I was watching an episode of It's a Living the other day and forgot she was on the early seasons of It's a Living. You remember that piece of shit?
No.
I don't remember that. And I was trying to think of
Ann Jillian. It was the early 80s. It was Ann Jillian and 3 other people. And they were waitresses in a restaurant in Los Angeles at the top of a hotel. And it was like a spinning around restaurant on the 38th floor of this place. And that was the whole show. Ann Jillian and other waitresses.
Well, Well, I had forgotten who she was.
And she did a show. She left that show, and she wound up doing something where she was a ghost called Jennifer Slept Here, and it lasted like 12 weeks.
I remember that one, though.
That show. I do remember that show, Jennifer Slept Here.
Mm-hmm.
And I do remember. Well, thank you for the obscure reference. Next week, I want you to do something from, what was that? My Two Dads. Who are those?
We've already talked about Greg Evigan. We already
talked about
Greg Evigan. Oh, wasn't he BJ and the Bear guy, too?
Yep.
Paul Reiser and Greg Evigan.
Wait, Paul Reiser was the other dad?
Uh-huh.
Wow. I remember watching that show. I don't remember Paul Reiser being the other dad. That's funny.
He was.
Yeah, but you know why you don't remember? Because he wasn't funny.
No, he absolutely was not.
He was not funny in that show at all.
Greg Evigan was cuter anyway.
See, I couldn't get past the beard, but that's just me and my heterosexuality.
But if he didn't have the beard, you'd meet him right over there in Pickle Park.
As my friend in Tennessee used to say, well, maybe I'd fuck on him. I don't know. So.
Okay, with that, I'm gonna go make lobster.
Bye, guys.
There you go. Is that what you kids call it? Go make your lobster.